11-year MLS pro Quincy Amarikwa here, and you're now listening to the Perfect Soccer Podcast, where your host goes one-on-one to get to know your favorite professional soccer players, both on and off the pitch. Because how better to learn what it takes to become a pro soccer player other than directly from pro soccer players? Today's episode is brought to you by PerfectSoccerSkills.com, the #1 and only platform you'll ever need to connect with and learn from pro soccer players. Learn more and enter to win weekly soccer prizes, goals, balls, jerseys, player meet and greets, and more by heading over to PerfectSoccerSkills.com/PSTM to enter to win for free today. With that said, please enjoy today's episode.
What's up, everybody? This is the first episode of the Perfect Soccer Podcast. Our first guest / creator is Quincy Amarikwa. Quincy, how's it going?
I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to be a part of the show and kick off the official first episode.
Yeah, for sure. I know the followers already know you, but for people that don't know you, want to give like a brief background about yourself?
Yeah, no, I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. As you know, I can talk at length. Yeah, see, I know you're laughing because you know I can go on and on. But for those who don't know, my name is Quincy Amarikwa. I just have completed my 11th year of professional soccer in MLS, that's Major League Soccer. I'm currently going into my free agency for the second time. I just completed my year with DC United, and yeah. Though I've played in the MLS for over a decade now, what I talk a lot about over on PerfectSoccerSkills.com and our podcast and all of the content and platform and things that we're putting together is the MSL. So that's the Mental Strength League. It's an idea and philosophy and mindset that helps you accomplish your goals. And everything that we do on the Perfect Soccer platform is centered around helping players, parents, and coaches understand the on and off field side of the game, so they can best put together a plan of action to accomplish their goals. So that is who I am, and that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, definitely. I think you got to start introducing yourself as MLS champion too.
Oh, as an MLS champion?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess we did win an MLS Cup championship.
And, yeah, I know. You know, like 11-year veteran and MLS champion. Or MLS champion first, I guess, maybe.
I guess that would be, I guess it'd be better to present it that way. Yeah, I guess I'm learning more and more.
Maybe that makes you come off as kind of cocky, though.
Yeah, but I guess that's okay as long as it's true. Yeah. I don't really consider it cocky if what you're saying is true, but a lot of other people think what they think. I mean, we get into that, and that's what I talked to you about on the Ask a Soccer Pro show. You know what I mean? Like, as long as what you're saying is true, I don't think anything's cocky. So I don't really think too much about how I'm presenting myself, but maybe I should spend a little bit more time doing that.
Yeah. I think maybe tomorrow you should just flash the ring tomorrow on Instagram or something. Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday. Let them see the ring.
Yeah. So I know you said you're a free agent right now. Like, what are you looking for in a team?
I am looking for a team that understands the value I can provide well beyond that of just on the soccer field.
All right. Do you think when do you want to sign, I should say?
Oh. I haven't put much thought into that. I guess I just wait until offers come and then I have conversations and see where it goes. I guess I'm so familiar with the process in terms of how I've been viewed in the league over the course of my career that I know that everyone ends up coming and speaking to me last, which has its pros and cons. I think most players aren't spending as much time as I do planning for their post-career or haven't spent as much time as I have planning for my post-career. So I've been planning for my post-career the day I joined the league 11 years ago. And in doing so, I haven't lied to myself about how teams and people and organizations view me. Because I understand that and I'm honest with myself about it, I've been able to play in the league as long as I have. But I do think at this point in time in my career, that perception is changing, or that perspective is changing. And I feel like the teams who are understanding what it is that I can do and provide will come to me quicker than they have in the past. But we'll see. I don't know. That's just a conspiracy, I guess.
Yeah. And why did you start Perfect Soccer?
Oh, well, a really large reason I started Perfect Soccer was because when I had met Ross LeBeau back in 2010 on the MLS Cup Championship team, that you're letting me know that I need to start referencing a little bit more. I had never met an individual who loved speaking about soccer more than Ross did, and I saw that he just had a huge passion for it and he loved it. But I also saw that he didn't fully understand the business side of things and what would be necessary to be able to do that for the rest of his life. And I also heard and learned about his story about how he had over 25 plus recruitment offers by the time he was eligible to play college soccer, which was the polar and complete opposite of mine. I got lucky to get seen and recruited all in the last game of my last tournament in my club soccer career. I've talked about that at length in other podcasts. So if people are interested in my college recruiting story and process, they can learn more about that at perfectsoccerskills.com/college. But yeah, just seeing Ross's passion for speaking about the game and the stark difference between both of our processes, I saw a huge opportunity to create a platform for aspiring players and just parents and coaches trying to figure it out. The honest information that I didn't see being provided online that would best help players like me who fall through the cracks all the time because they don't fit the quote unquote, prototype or phenotype that, has been branded as what the typical or ideal soccer player needs to look like or play like. So this is for all the people that I've seen over the course of my career that had the ability, the talent, the drive. They had everything that they would need to be able to play at this level, but didn't have access to the information they would need to understand how to get to and sustain being at this level.
And what made you want to start this podcast? The specific one to interview soccer players.
I think a lot of guys, understandably so, aren't planning for their post-career and they aren't building and putting things in place that will help them create a platform for themselves so they can make the transition post-career more smoothly. So I guess I kind of took it upon myself to be able to create the different avenues and platforms for those guys to start building those things while they're playing. So there's something that they can reference back to if and when when their careers ultimately finish. Like, I hope all these guys go on to have 15, 20-year long careers, but, some of them will and many of them won't. And while they're playing, if I can help facilitate, them sharing their story, sharing what they've learned, understanding the process of building their brand, of creating a network and connecting with people and learning the process, it won't be so scary and they won't be starting from scratch when they do ultimately decide that they're ready to transition into whatever their post-career goals or aspirations end up becoming.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a good media outlet too, just because I listen to a lot of podcasts. I haven't really personally seen a lot of MLS players on podcasts. Like, I've seen a lot of other athletes in other leagues. So I think that'll be good too. And especially, obviously, MLS is growing, so there's a lot of new teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think soccer is in a very underserved market here in America. And high quality educational soccer content is extremely underserved here. You know, the typical American fan hasn't had access to information that's meant to help them better understand the game and question those who are in charge and the information they're receiving. Most have just been watching as, you know, a fan and spectating. But I think as time goes on, America definitely wants to be a place that is, you know how it is here. We're winners. We want to win. And when we if we're going to start seeing that on an international stage, we're not competing at the level we expect we should be as Americans. I think a reason that we'll be able to make that jump is directly tied to the quality of information that the audience is getting access to. And I just don't think they know that they're not getting as high of quality information as available, you know, and the plan is to help facilitate that.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of unique too with soccer is, you know, some kids go to college, some kids don't. Some of them come over when they're 16 and they play here. So it's pretty different than other sports too. So to hear their stories is obviously totally different than a lot of other ones.
Yes, like 1,000%. And I think for me, that's why my experience and career has been so unique, and the value I feel like I can provide is so specific, is because of the degree, the wide varying degree of teammates and teams and cultures and coaches and stuff that I've played for and under. You know, I've got 15-year-old teammates who are mentally 30 years old because they've immigrated from another country and this is their means to provide for their family back home, to 15-year-olds who think, you know, $50,000 is the most money that's ever been they could ever make in their entire life, and they live at home with their parents and they're not even thinking about the idea of anything other than tomorrow, to 35-year-olds who have the same exact mindset and aren't even prepared for post-career, to, you know, guys I can't speak to because we don't speak the same language, but you still have to figure out how to understand each other both on and off the field and in the locker room. Like, I just think the ability to create culture and build a camaraderie in a locker room with the huge degree of differences culturally, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, skillfully, all of that is a skill that I definitely know for a fact, after having over 1,000 plus teammates over the course of my career, is very unique and one that not many people have nor fully understand.
Yeah, definitely. Even just when you were just talking about that, I was just thinking about like just the age range that you played with is just like crazy too, and just like thinking about like, I know what's his name, Griffin's in like high school still, right? So that's like,
yeah, I think
crazy. And you're like in your 11th year.
Yeah. And like I guess there's no other real work environment where there's that large a degree of separation in terms of age like that, right? There's people who probably work with, hey, my boss is 60 and I'm 25 years old.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right? Like, okay, yeah, but not like, hey, you know, a 14-year-old came in to train with us today in a first-team training session, right? And then signed with us at 15. And now he's in the locker room, and he's my competition. And, you know,
like you could be his
doesn't
dad.
Understand. Yeah, he doesn't know or understand, like, what this is and what this means. And, like, you know, maybe his only experience of this is what he's seen in highlight tapes on Instagram and YouTube. You know what I mean? So, for me, I feel it's very important for this type of information to be out there so kids have access to it. So, you know, I know they have dreams and aspirations to want to do this, and I know professional is a goal for a lot of kids and, you know, and people, but what it is and what it means to be a pro and what's required to be and stay at this level is not what a lot of these youth coaches and directors and organizations are selling kids on, you know? So, yeah, what I talk about here at Perfect Soccer is we tell our truth from our personal experience. We share what we've learned from doing it ourselves. And, you know, like, a lot of the times you might not like what I have to say or how I have to say it or what I'm saying, or it might come off as cocky, right, or arrogant, or however it is. But I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
And most people, I talked about it on live and talked about it on Twitter and all that. The truth is hard to sell. Most people aren't buying the truth. If you've ever wanted to have a really hard job, one that's almost just impossible to do, go around and try to sell people on the truth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that takes a long time. People are just now starting to buy what I'm selling because it's taken me 11 years to get people to start buying in on the truth.
Yeah.
And they're still fighting me on it. Yeah, they're still fighting me on it. But then I realized it's the MSL, it's Mental Strength League. Truth is true whether you believe it or not. I really don't care. Either ride the wave or get ran over by it. But it doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Yep.
All right, you ready for the Quincy 5 that you came up with? So you're about to answer your own questions.
Yeah, so, okay, well, let's set some context. So when we did set up this show, there are 5 questions that I want asked to every pro player who joins in on the show, and Paul is now using those questions against me. So this will be good. I actually don't even remember what the 5 were, so...
Oh, good.
So let's see.
What's the most important quality or skill is the largest contribution to your success as a pro player?
My mentality.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah, my mentality is 1,000%.
See, this is why they're the Quincy questions. You already knew the answers, and I didn't.
There you go. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll give a little more context as to it. So, not only my mentality, but my stubbornness and unwillingness to figure out how to teach my mentality to others so they can understand and leverage that for themselves so they can accomplish their goals. So, yeah.
Or what's the biggest mistake you think most pros make?
Oh, the biggest mistake most pro players make is approaching the game thinking that their career will never end one day.
It's probably every pro athlete, huh? Or a lot.
Yeah, pretty much every single. Yeah, well, pretty much. And I've talked to thousands of pros, and pretty much all of them believe that they are the chosen one. And which is, why wouldn't they? They've gotten to the pro level. That means they've beaten a huge percentage of the population to get to where they're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your greatest strength will eventually become your greatest weakness, because as time goes on, if you're not constantly learning how to beat yourself, other people are learning how to beat you, and they will eventually pass you. And many players aren't buying insurance while playing while it's cheap, right? When you first start out as a pro and you're young, that's when insurance is cheapest to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm going, approach the game protecting yourself from worst case scenario. So I'm not saying not to take risks. Take as many risks as you can, but before you take the risk, buy insurance, right? Buy insurance. And not only just like actual insurance, I'm just going like every type of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
If an agent or a coach or an organization is promising you the world, okay, you can believe them, but what's your plan for if they're all full of crap and they're lying to you, and you won't know that until 6 months from now, right? Well, do both. Believe them and do the work as if they're telling you the truth, but also do the work that you need to do so if they lied to you, you're still okay. Because at the end, you're going to have a win-win. You're going to have a valuable lesson. You're either going to know that you can trust them, and that's going to be a valuable asset to you, or you're going to realize that you cannot trust them, or you can always trust them. You can trust that you can't trust them, right? So again, turn everything into a win-win. If you can trust that you can't trust someone, that means they're consistent. That means they can be relied upon. So again, it just comes down to perspective. Like I said again, and I'll say it again. Truth is true whether you believe it or not. And if someone always doesn't believe the truth, well, then that means they're consistent. That means you can rely on them. And and you can plan around that. So, so yeah, hopefully that helps.
What advice would you give a young player trying to become a pro soccer player?
I would say play the game for the reasons why you love and enjoy the game, and focus on that. And if you think you want to become a pro player one day, then start learning what it is that pro players do and start doing that on your own in your free time. If you can't maintain a professional mindset or professional level or standard outside of mandatory practices and trainings, like on your own, then, you know, you just say you want to go pro. You don't actually want to be pro. That's okay. You play the game because you love playing the game. Understand that going pro means the game is no longer what you love. The game is now something you are paid to do, and with that comes a lot of unfair circumstances, a lot of things that I've just been around a long time. I've seen a lot of messed up stuff, unfair things, backstabbing things, horrible people. That's what it is. You know, everyone wants to do this. So when everybody wants to do something, once they realize doing it the right way or helping others doesn't help them, or they believe it doesn't, then they change up real quick. There's a lot of bad actors, a lot of fake people in this game and in this world. So just understanding that if you're wanting to go pro, so you can build the team and network of people around you that can help you through the process. And you know, not everybody has that, which is why we created Perfect Soccer, so that everyone can have that. This is for the kid out there who wants to go pro, wants to make it, is dedicated to their craft, is doing that extra work on their own, but doesn't have maybe the money to be able to go to the best academy or organization or something. You don't need that. You don't need that. You just need the information. And the information that I and we provide on our platform is free, right? You can get access to all of it. There's a free version of everything. There's a free option. I won't even say a free version. There's a free option for everything that we put out, and there's a paid option for everything that we put out. So I didn't want price to be a reason why kids, parents, players, everybody couldn't get access to information. But if you want the information, this is very valuable information. This is information that I learned from blood, sweat, and tears, investing hundreds of thousands of dollars of my own money to acquire and get over time. And it is available to anyone and everyone who's interested. But if you want it for free, you're going to have to do some work to get it. So that's how we've set it up, because that's how it works. Nothing in life comes for free. You're going to put in time, effort, energy, or money. But, you know, you only get out what you put in. So, that's what we are. That's what we stand for, and that's why we're doing this.
And what's something that most people think is true that you wouldn't believe is or isn't?
What's something that most people believe is true that I believe isn't?
Yeah.
Well, that ties into what I said before. Most people believe they want the truth, and they're open to hearing the truth. But I know that most people don't.
Yeah, you're in their head.
Oh, I'm in their head, and they don't want to believe it.
Enjoy learning what it takes to become a better player from professional soccer players? Well, how would you like to work with professional players one-on-one? Now you can with Be Pro by Perfect Soccer. Head over to perfectsoccerskills.com/BEPRO to apply to work with our network of pro players today.
And the last Quincy question is, what would you do if you weren't afraid?
What would I do if I wasn't afraid? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? I would do everything that I've done in my career up to this point.
What does that mean?
That's a good one, huh?
Yeah. That one gets everybody.
Yeah, that one's going to get everybody.
All right, so
welcome to the NFL.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, maybe that's what I'll say to everyone after they try to answer it.
Let everyone, think through that. Everyone's got to think through that and come to that answer on their own.
And then they'll come back and yell at you for asking that question. I'll say you could blame Quincy.
Oh yeah, right. Blame me.
Yep.
But then they can go to perfectsoccerskills.com/gameon and
take the quiz.
Mentality quiz. Take the quiz. See if you have a loser's mentality or if you have a winner's mindset. And after you take that quiz, you can read our article of if you are in the game. So are you in the game? And find out if you're in the game or if you're getting played in the game.
Definitely. All right, you ready for some fun off-the-pitch questions?
Yes, sir.
Why do you wear number 25?
Why do I wear number 25? Let me think. I wore number 17 all through my youth career growing up. And then when I got to college, I wanted to wear 17 again, but Juan Hernandez was the number one recruited player at Davis when I got there, and they asked him first what he wants, and his number was 17. And then what did I take in college? What was my number in college? At that point, I just was like, okay, well, I really don't care about my number anymore. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, whatever. So I don't even remember what my number in college was. I think it was 12. I think I was 12 in college. Let's say I was 12, I think. I don't know. So then I was just that number in college. And then when I got to pro, I think the same thing happened again. Someone was 12 or 17. I don't know. And 25 was available, and they gave it to me. And I was like, okay, cool. I guess for me, it's like, whatever. Give me whatever, and I'll make it work. So,
All right.
Lemon's lemonade. Yeah, so that's why I got 25 was it. And then I got traded to Colorado, but Pablo Mascheroni was 25, so I couldn't be 25. Then I was 12. Then where'd I go after that? Colorado, then New York, Red Bulls. I don't think I officially got a number before I was traded to Toronto. 12 was taken, so then I was 18. And now I'm in Toronto, and then I signed with Chicago Fire. What was I in Chicago? And then I think I was 25 in Chicago, but I don't know if I was 25 from the beginning.
Yeah.
Seeing that, you're making me think about it. Then Chicago, then where? Then back to San Jose, and I was 25 again in San Jose. Then where was I? San Jose. Then Montreal. 25 was taken. I don't know who was 25, so I was number 30 in Montreal. And then when I signed with DC, am I 25? I'm 25 here, right?
Yep.
I think I'm number 25. Yeah, so I'm 25 again here in DC. So yeah, no, I guess no real rhyme or reason. I make do with what I'm given.
Well, side question: do you have all your jerseys from all your teams?
Yeah, I've got jerseys in boxes and hung up all over the place. Like I've lived in, I think it's like 45 plus different places over the last 15 years because of soccer.
God.
So yeah. I could go through every single place that I've gone to. But yeah, if people think there's consistency in this game for players, no, there's not. So your only consistency is inconsistency. So you got to figure out how to adapt or die. MSL, Mental Strength League, we make it work. But I've got jerseys all over the place. Some storage units in Chicago, some stuff in Montreal that I still need to ship, and then a lot of stuff back in California. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got a jersey from every single year. I just would have to spend a little bit of time finding all of them.
That would be kind of a cool little graphic post, like all the jerseys you had, like in like animation or illustration, whatever you want to say.
No, that would be dope.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Can you make that? Do you know how to do that?
No, I'm not that advanced. No, I saw Eric's post actually yesterday when I was looking at his Instagram, and he did something like that for World Cups.
Oh yeah, you made all the World Cup.
Yeah. So
yeah, we should bring that up to him and see if he could do that. Like, anyone who's listening, if you got any photos of me and you or one of my old jerseys or something, post it and tag me on Twitter. I'd be happy to retweet that, and that would give us some cool ideas on some stuff that we can make. like I think all the stuff I've been working on and doing for the last 11 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'd love to see a lot of this stuff. I've been playing games and hanging out with fans and stuff for years and years and years. So I know there's a bunch of content and stuff that we've made in the past that I don't even remember about. I think I was on the live. When was I on the live? Yesterday, I was on the live yesterday, and someone said, "Oh, you remember when we did this and shot that?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I forgot of all the Quincy Time episodes and the challenges and the meet and greets and stuff." So
you got unlimited content.
Yeah, like I honestly don't believe that there's any professional athlete ever to play the game who has a more, how would I even describe it? Like, I don't think that there's any professional player in the history of sports who has the knowledge of social media marketing and business than I do. And I will say that till you can put me up against anybody and I can have a conversation and debate with literally anybody. So if you guys would like me to debate people, that's what I'd love to do. I would love to start doing that. That'd be awesome.
Well, I mean, also
conversations with.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking too. Also for the podcast, I think that'd be cool if we do some co-hosted episodes also.
That would be dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm open to, if people got dope ideas, I'm all about it. That's what we're here.
Quincy's down to do anything, guys.
Yeah.
So tweet them your ideas.
Pretty much. There you go. Pretty much almost anything. I think the only thing that I was making sure that I said, like, no, I said no food challenges when I was doing Quincy Time challenges.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to, I don't do food challenges. I'm not trying to, I'm too competitive. I'm not trying to feel like crap for 2 days and like throw up a whole bunch just because I try to eat, 800 chicken wings.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about what do you like to do in your downtime?
I like to work on. Several things. So like in my downtime, I like hanging out with my wife and my kids. But I also like leveraging our downtime. So most of the family activities that we do also align with our long-term goals. Mm-hmm. So we work out together. We strategize together. We plan together. We come up with our ideas and collaborate and stuff. So like when we're all spending time together, we're also figuring out ways to kind of just build the Amarikwa legacy. So it's a whole family endeavor. So I think I talk a lot about leveraging your time and building relationships and building a community of people who are already doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like in my downtime, I'm working on the things that we've been building. That's downtime to me. I enjoy building businesses. I enjoy helping people understand the process. I like one of our purpose of our company is to over-deliver value, leave every exchange having given more than we received. That's been my philosophy, and that's how I've approached life. Since I became self-aware at 9 years old. And, it served me well, and I plan to continue to do the same and more in the future.
Gotcha. And do you want your kids to play soccer?
If I had the choice, I'd like them to, but, at the end of the day, everyone has their own choice.
Yeah.
Right? So I wouldn't be angry if they I wouldn't be angry if they chose not to. But I'd be very grateful and happy if they had a natural affinity to it, because I know there's a lot I could teach them, and I know it'd be a great way for us to bond and to build a relationship, because soccer is how I built a really great relationship with my father. So I'd love to be able to do the same with my kids, but I also know that I've talked to and played with a lot of different players. I know a lot of stories of players who said that the relationship with their father was horrible because of soccer, because they didn't really want to do it, but their father made them. So we'll see, and hopefully they're drawn to it.
So say one of them plays like a different sport, like are you going to go, and you don't know that much about it, are you going to like go all out to figure out your best knowledge to figure out like that sport?
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah,
if anyone knows me, or even if you know me, 1,000%. So, okay, I don't think I've ever told this story. Fun fact is, I almost never had a professional soccer career because in my senior year in college at Davis, I was introduced to judo, and that was of all the sports I've ever played. So I was a pole vaulter. I have the pole vaulting record at my high school. I also did a open track meet at UC Davis my second year, and I think I beat all the pole vaulters there. I hadn't pole vaulted in like 2 years. I made a lot of people angry after that, so they didn't let me do that anymore after that. Woody Wilson track meet, that's what it was called. Oh, that was a good time. But yeah, I played many sports, and I was introduced to judo my senior year of college, and I was obsessed with it. I fell in love with it, and that is the one sport out of all the sports I've ever played that I have had a innate, natural, gifted talent for. Like, there's no sport I've played that I've been better at more quickly than that, and to the point that it was between a professional mixed martial arts career, which means I would have just given up soccer and just done that full time, or go pro. And I almost decided to do judo because I enjoyed it and liked it that much. But the practical decision back then was to, hey, professional was a contract. It was there. If I put all this time, effort, and energy into this, I should at least pursue this and see where it goes. I do really enjoy judo. I am naturally gifted at it. In the tournaments and stuff that I did, I liked it a lot. There might be some photos online of back from the first tournament that I did. Yeah, I almost was a UFC fighter, basically, because that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, well, you answered my last question because I was going to say, what would you do if you weren't a soccer player?
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
If you're not saying business, if it wasn't business, if it's not business or anything, like if you're saying sports related, I'd be a UFC fighter, 1,000%.
I could see it.
Yeah.
You gotta have you got the mental capacity for it.
Oh, I mean, the number of times I've considered making a career change and doing it, probably too many times. But yeah, I would like. Oh man.
Hey, with all these crossovers and all these fights that are going on, and then you throw in an MLS player into it, then maybe it'll sell.
Hey, I'm down.
maybe I should not. Maybe I should not convince you. Your wife's probably gonna get mad at me.
Right? It's not much convincing to be done. You know what I mean? Like, if Zlatan wants his free mental space back, maybe we just set up a David versus Goliath UFC sanctioned fight that we each get a year to prepare for, and then we'll just see what happens. Like, he did Taekwondo, right?
I'm not sure.
People are telling me, people are telling me he did Taekwondo. So, like, yeah, there you go. There you go.
Well, I mean, the only downside, they wouldn't sanction it because you guys are going to be the same weight class.
How much weight do I need to gain just so I can make this happen? Give me enough time. What do you mean?
All right.
No problem. I mean, you saw him run into me in the 18-yard box and stumble backwards like a small child. Like, made all of his Sonic Hedgehog coins spill out of his back pocket. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be concerned about him. I'm more concerned about him. They should be worried about him. Like.
Oh man! All right.
I'm a nobody. He's this big brand. Like, you don't want him to get hurt, but you know what I mean. Unless he's scared.
Yeah.
But whatever.
No.
Like, if he's scared, that's okay. It's okay to be scared. Yeah, no, I get scared sometimes, so it's okay to get scared.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're scared, Zlatan, that's okay. Yeah, it's okay, Zlatan. Don't worry.
All right, so
don't worry about it. You know what? Don't worry about it, Zlatan. It's okay.
All right, so last one. What could the fans and the listeners expect from the Perfect Soccer Radio and Perfect Soccer Podcast for 2020?
Got you. High level mentality training. That's what they can expect. Great quality content. A lot more regular content, a lot more partnerships, a lot more people joining the team, and really wanting to create a platform for individuals who are doing good, hard, honest work who aren't getting recognition for it. You know, all the people who are super like only in it for themselves and aren't passing on knowledge to those after them and helping people are getting all the attention, the accolades, and the money. And we will change that business model. We will surely change that business model, because 2020 will be the year of vision. So 2020 vision.
Perfect. And let the people know where they could follow you and Perfect Soccer at.
You can follow us at perfectsoccerskills.com. You can subscribe to our podcast at perfectsoccerskills.com/radio. If you're wanting to join my Mental Strength League newsletter, so my personal mental strength coaching newsletter, you can go to QuincyAmarikwa.com/about. Learn more about me and my mental strength coaching, as well as I'm wanting to get into public speaking and doing that as well too. So if you want me to come in and speak to your group or something or whatever, I'm open for that. And if you want to get an understanding of what it is I talk about, and the concepts and ideas I talk about, you can join the newsletter, and you'll see the talk I did at Bill Hamid's camp, where I discussed the 3 S's of self-awareness. So self-honesty, self-initiative, self-accountability, the first 3 steps of the Amarikwa process. So those would be the best places to start. And, follow me on Twitter and send in your memes and make fun of me and my career, and we can have some fun.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and can't wait to see what 2020 brings.
Oh, me too. Thanks for having me.
Quincy Amarikwa here, and thanks again for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to share it with someone you feel will get some value from it. And if you could take a moment to leave a review of our podcast wherever you're listening and let us know who you'd like us to interview next, we'll get working on that right away. You can listen to this full episode and more at perfectsoccerskills.com/radio. That's perfectsoccerskills.com/radio. You can also enter to win free weekly soccer prizes, goals, balls, jerseys, player meet and greets, and more by heading over to perfectsoccerskills.com/PSTM to enter to win for free today.